circle is now complete. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
Your powers are weak, old man.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
We are #1 trending.
Welcome to my live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Let me introduce myself. My name is Andre Lefevre, and I am a extreme libertarian and a citizen journalist. I don't get paid for this. This is my hobby for all practical purposes. Swamp is on the attack against us. Swamp is on the attack against the Patriots and against our president. They managed to ban Alex Jones completely from all social platforms, which is roughly 93% of the internet. Want to talk about him and the reaction to his banning a little bit later. But the swamp is on the march. Now they only use the 25th Amendment, which is if the president's cabinet votes president to be insane or incompetent, that he can be removed. I haven't read the exact verbiage of the amendment personally, but the way I understand it, that's what it means. Well, the liberals, the Democrat Nazis, don't like the fact that American people don't like Democrats. Democrat Nazis don't like the fact that the only way they can get elected is by cheating and fixing the elections. So, very telling that here's a story that Senator Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts wants to use the 25th Amendment. Here's the headline from Business Insider. Elizabeth Warren says Trump officials should consider invoking the 25th Amendment to remove the president from office. Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren on Tuesday said senior Trump administration officials should consider invoking the 25th Amendment to remove the president from office. The call comes as the Trump administration is reeling from widespread allegations of mutiny within the White House. If senior administration officials think the president of the United States is not able to do his job, they should invoke the 25th Amendment, Warren told CNN. Yeah, told the fake news. The 25th Amendment has never been invoked in U.S. history. I'm not going to read the rest of it. Well, this comes on the heels of an anonymous op-ed that New York Times published, supposedly from some quote-unquote senior White House official. You know, obviously it was it's a work of fiction by the New York editorial writers. President Trump takes this seriously. And this is from Washington Times. Trump asks Sessions to probe anonymous New York Times op-ed author. President Trump said Friday that Attorney General Jeff Sessions should launch an investigation to identify the anonymous author of a New York Times op-ed who claimed to be part of a resistance inside the administration. Mr. called it a national security issue. Jeff should be investigating who the author of that piece was, because I really believe it is national security, the president told reporters aboard Air Force One as they traveled from Montana to Fargo, North Dakota to campaign events. I agree. I agree, even though I am personally convinced that it is a work of fiction. Somehow I doubt that anybody in the Trump administration would write it, just like Bob Woodward's book appears to be a work of fiction, because pretty much everybody who was quoted saying negative things about the president loudly proclaimed that they didn't say so. And Bob Woodward's credibility, starting with Watergate, is pretty much a zero. Pretty much a zero. Now, it is not surprising that when this was going on, Twitter decided to ban the loudest voice who supported Donald Trump. Twitter was the last of the big three social platforms who banned Alex Jones and InfoWars permanently. A little bit later in this Periscope, we're going to call the White House and urge the president to voice his support for Alex Jones, of course, because Alex Jones is unquestionably the loudest cheerleader for the president. And personally, I think President owes Alex Jones, who didn't do anything wrong, to show his support, because Alex Jones calls himself the tip of the spear, and he is. Now, the reason he was banned is because Alex Jones confronted this man, Oliver Darcy, who is a propagandist and the Nazi fake news disseminator for CNN. And that happened yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago. I don't know exactly when the confrontation took place. It was yesterday. Maybe the confrontation took place 2 days ago, but it was published yesterday. And Oliver Darcy's butt hurt so bad that he convinced Twitter to ban Alex Jones. Let's give some respect for Alex Jones and play it. Those are just words.
The guy that goes around policing and calling for censorship and then claims that Trump's wrong, there's no censorship of conservatives or patriots. You are incredibly shameful.
How are you doing, Alex?
You're just, look at you, you are literally an anti-American, anti-free speech coward. You're going to go down the history books at the Criminal News Network. This is one of the main people right here who thinks you have no memory, who sits there and lobbies. Show him. That sits there and lobbies people to take other news off, claiming they're fake when CNN is the fakest WMD, Gulf Arab state dictatorship funded. Unbelievable. I mean, look at those eyes, folks. If you want to see the eyes of a rat, seriously, just
well, it is about 10-minute clip. If you go to my website, wildnews.us, I have a full clip posted up there. It is, I think I took it from the real.video, so it's unlikely that it's going to be banished off the internet. So this is what was done to Alex Jones. Now, there are various reactions to what happened to Alex Jones. There are various reactions. Um, one of them is fear. One of them is fear. A prominent, what I thought was a solid conservative voice drowned himself in fear yesterday on his Periscope. I am not going to say who the man is right now, and I'm not going to run any clips, even though I was prepared to. And one of the reasons is because that particular man, one of the three people who inspired me to start my own Periscope and start my own channel and mouth off on things that I mouth off on. The first two was Alex Jones and Stephen Melanie. The third one, I don't want to name him. But I am extremely disappointed in that man, and he's echoing the that man is echoing the ideas of those of independent journalism who live in fear, who are afraid, who are simply afraid that something bad is going to happen to him. I was born in the Soviet Union. It takes a lot to scare me. I don't depend on the media platforms to for my livelihood. But even if liberal Nazis going to come to my boss and I'm going to lose my job, I'll figure out how to make a living. I'll be damned. I will be damned if somebody going to scare me to lose my pride. And the sentiment is, well, we lost. The sentiment that I heard from that man, we lost, and we can't depend on Trump, and we're going to wait 5, 10, 20 years, and when the liberals are going to piss everybody off, we're going to come back. Or I'm going to come back, that man said. Well, you know, for one thing, we haven't lost anything yet. We probably going to win in November. And if we do lose, and if they do put us in concentration camps, and if they do destroy us completely, the people who are going to write it are not going to be us. It's going to be our children and our grandchildren. So here's the thing. When you're in a corner and you're surrounded by people who want to do you in, being nice, turning your back, lying down, begging for forgiveness is not an option. Because you're going to go down. The question is, you're going to go down with your pride intact, or you're going to go down, just going to go down because you don't have the guts. And I know the pressure from family, wives, girlfriends, children, other liberals, desire to stay famous, desire to keep the nice house and live in South Orange County is overwhelming. But there's such thing as a male pride. There's such thing as a male pride. And sometimes pride is a lot more important than goodly possessions. Because if you feel like shit inside, who cares what you possess? This is a meme that I found of Alex Jones, followed by Alex Jones's clones. And if you look at that body, if you look at the poster, and let me see if I can enlarge this. This is what men look like. I don't even know if it's Alex Jones's body. It doesn't really matter. This is the look, and this is the posture that men have when they're threatened. Not crying that everything's lost, and yeah, I'm going to regroup and come back in 5, 10, 20 years. The fight is now. It's not 10 or 20 years. Well, before I go, let's call the White House. And let's ask President Trump to come in support of Alex Jones. To come in support of Alex Jones. So let me find his number. The White House number. And I'm dialing 202-456-1111.
Calling the White House comment line. If you're calling about White House tour information, press 1. If you're calling about presidential greetings, press 2. For the White House mailing address, press 3. To speak with the next available operator, please remain on the line. To hear these options again, please press the star key.
Calling the White House.
Comment line volunteer operators are currently assisting other callers. Please continue to hold.
Anyways, calling the White House. Calling the White House to urge the president to come in support of Alex Jones. Even mentioning his name will help a lot for our cause. He's been a brave voice, one of the very few voices that spoke the way he sees it, not holding anything back.
All comment line volunteer operators are currently assisting other callers. Please continue to hold.
What's remarkable about men like Alex Jones is that they actually understand the difference between just whining about things and actual action. The landscape was different in 2015, 2016, since internet was still relatively free.
All comment line volunteers
Commentary, and
please continue to hold.
and having your opinion heard was enough. Well, the landscape has changed. Even though we won and put Donald Trump in the White House, now action is required. And right now, the action that's required is verbally confronting the liberal Nazis. No longer just whining about stuff and explaining how evil the Democrat Party is suffice. We know that. What we need to do now, and we're on hold, we're on hold waiting to leave a message for President Trump to come in support of Alex Jones. Right now, we need to do what Alex Jones does, goes in there, shoves the microphone in the face of the Democrat Nazis and of the rhinos, and the same thing as Laura Loomer does. Sometimes she has to heckle and disrupt the DC swamp to be heard. But this is what it takes right now. Ladies and gents, it is not enough for us to complain and bitch. We need to be truly heard. And if we hear a politician or even a neighbor or anybody comes in support of the Democrat Nazis, we have to verbally, right now, just verbally, put them in their place and take no for an answer. The time to hide and play it safe is gone. Playing safe isn't going to help us. They banned Alex Jones of the internet. They're going to start banning lesser people of the internet, less popular people of the internet. Then they're going to start preventing people, prominent conservatives and libertarians, from having bank accounts. This is a Nazi playbook of 1932, 1933. They did that to Gypsies, Jews, and Christians in Germany. This is exactly what was done. Slowly but surely exclude a large segment of the population from the society. And after that, they put them in the concentration camps and gas them. And this is not far-fetched. This is just the beginning. So,
good afternoon. This is the White House comment line. May I please take your brief comment for the president?
well, good morning. I'm calling from California. Name is Andre Lefevre from wildnews.us, and I'm live streaming this this message. And I'd like to urge President Trump to come in support of Alex Jones. Alex Jones was prominent in helping Donald Trump win the elections. Now Alex Jones is under attack, severe attack. He's banned from the internet by the Democrat Nazis. And I'd like to urge the president to come in support of Alex Jones, because you cannot find a more loyal friend and supporter than Alex Jones. So my message to Donald Trump, sir, please come in support of Alex Jones. Hello?
All right, sir. I'm writing the comment down as we speak.
I'm sorry.
I will pass this on to the president's office, the support of Alex Jones.
Yes. Please come in support of Alex Jones vigorously, sir.
Pardon, can you repeat that last part?
I said, please come into support of Alex Jones vigorously, Mr. President.
All right, I will pass this on. We appreciate you calling in today, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was that. We left a message. Time for me to get back to work. Visit my website, wildnews.us. If for some reason you need to contact me or want to contact me, go to the contact tab. My phone number and my email address are there rather. I appreciate you joining me on my live stream more than I can ever express in words. Have a wonderful day. I may or may not Periscope tomorrow, probably will. If not, I will see you Monday. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you again, and God bless you. God bless you.